Hangar Video Hangouts. My name is Charles Carter, and I'll be your host this evening. I want to extend to you my gratitude for you watching Stunt Hangar Video Hangouts. And if you're watching this as a replay, I want you to know that I host these YouTube live streams every Monday and Friday evening starting at 6:45 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So please make a note of this so you can watch or be part of the live stream. Plus, we have an after party following the live stream, which is sometimes better than a live stream portion. You must be a registered Stunt Hangar former member. Excuse me. You must be a registered Stunt Hangar forum member to find the link to be part of the live stream and the following after party. Here at Stunt Hangar Video Hangouts, we talk about building and flying model airplanes, sport flying, competition flying, and what you've been doing lately. To join our conversation, if you are already a member of Stunt Hangar Forum, you can find the link if you scroll down to the section called At the Bench. Now, if you're not a member or if you're not logged into Stunt Hangar Forum, the At the Bench link will not appear. Now, if you're not a member, please register at stunthanger.com/SMF. That's stunthanger.com/SMF. That's Smart Men Flying. Now, when you register, you must place a space between your real first and last name when you register. You must also use a valid email address or Sparky. The proprietor of Stunt Hangar will not approve you. Now, it doesn't cost anything to sign up at Stunt Hangar Forum, by the way. Now, if you're already signed up, but you're inclined to just watch us on YouTube, wonderful, fantastic. You can enter your questions or comments in the chat box right over here. I'll do my best to make your comments or questions a part of the show. Now, understand, sometimes even I can't get a word in myself. So be patient, and I will ask our illustrious panel your questions or state your comments. And by the way, you only can do this during a live stream. So like I said, I host these YouTube live streams every Monday and Friday evening, starting at 6:45 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If you find the Stunt Hangar video hangouts that I host or the many building videos, the contest coverage videos that Sparky does on this platform, informative and enjoyable, please hit the thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Please subscribe, share, comment. All these activities help the Stunt Hangar YouTube channel grow. Please also consider joining Stunt Hangar's YouTube channel memberships, which start at just $4.99 a month, which is less than 17 cents a day. And that little. And by the way, I'm a member. I have the $4.99 come out of my own checking account each and every month. I don't miss it, and I suspect you won't miss it either. Plus, you'd be supporting your hobby. Hopefully, you're just as passionate about it as I am. I mean, I love control line stunt, and there are other aspects of control line that are I equally appreciate, like combat and what's the other one? The one we land on an aircraft carrier. I'm just losing my mind for a second here. I can't think of, but there's other aspects of control line besides what I really enjoy, which is the stunt part. Anyways, please join our YouTube channel. Please share, subscribe, and comment. All those things help us grow. Now, this is Sparky's YouTube channel. And by the way, when you're a member, you also get access to member-only videos. Not all the videos that we do are for public consumption. Some are earmarked for just members only. So you'll be able to view some of these videos that ordinarily you wouldn't see unless you remember. Like I said, this is Sparky's YouTube channel. So if you want to get in touch with me, the best way to do that is to go to my YouTube channel, which is called Flying Control Line Stunt. Let me repeat that. Flying Control Line Stunt. And that if you locate the 2019 AMA National Championship video, which is a video which Sparky shot with his video camera, me flying his beautiful and light Junar XL. It was orange back then. It's white now with orange trim. And if you go there, check out the my pattern. I actually have some other planes I flew on my channel. It's a small channel, but some good videos. Probably about, I think, 15 or 18 videos, some from contests. Pretty good. And check it out. Like, share, subscribe there as well. Okay. Now, your support helps offset some of the expenses of running Stunt Hangar. So we need your support. And when you hear during the live stream, you can hit the super chat, which is below the chat area, and it's like a dollar sign. Please hit that and donate any amount you feel is worthy. I mean, if you're getting value, if you're getting information, and if you're being benefited from it, I think it's only fair you would contribute and donate to the show. Because we have people that are former world champions, former national champions. We have people who have 60, 70 years experience. I mean, you can actually build your control line plane on the shoulders of giants who've already done this and done that, and will tell you this doesn't work. This is the way to go. And there's multiple ways of doing it, but really, I really think it's a tremendous value in helping you out. And I want to thank you for your past, your present, and future support. You are making it happen. Please keep the conversations family room friendly. In other words, please don't use words or do things you wouldn't say or do around your own children or grandchildren. Without any further ado, I'm now going to post a link at Stunt Hangar Forum. Let me do that right now. And let me go there now. And let me do this as well. There's a few other things I need to do real quick. Just give me one quick second. I'm going to make my way shortly to what I call the control panel. And that's how people come into the show. And let me get this set up here. This is one other thing I need to do. Pardon me. Just give me a second here. Great. Okay. Here we go. Bam. Okay, that's sent. And let me make my way to the control panel. Let me get rid of some of these tabs so they don't take up any necessary resources on my laptop here. And let me see, did I post this yet? Let me post this right now. Okay, that's posted. Great. All right, get rid of this. Here we go. All right. Oh, great. Now I already see there are some people in the chat box. Let me make my way to the control panel, and I got to do a little editing there real quick. Hope everybody had a good weekend. And let's see here what's going on here. They've changed YouTube a little bit. Oh, there we go. Let me make my way here. There we go. Great. So a few more things here. Get rid of this. Get this out of my way. Great. That's set up. All right. And a few more things here. I went flying today. I only got a couple flights in today. I got really started late. So by the time I got going and then the wind got set up, I mean, the wind started just blowing more than I felt comfortable in flying. I could have flown in it, but it's not a contest. So I'll try it again maybe tomorrow. So let me see what's going on here. Looks like I have guests coming in. That's great. Brandon Angstrom. Hey guys, how you doing?
Hey, all right. How we doing, Charles?
Doing well. Thank you. I appreciate you coming in. You guys are the first ones in. That's fantastic. I still got to do a little bit of housekeeping, and we'll give you my undivided attention just a second here.
Sure.
Once the show gets rolling, I would forget to do this if I don't do this now. So I always try to do this quickly. And let me see here. Get this going. Great. So it looks like we have 13 concurrent viewers. We have 11 likes. 11 out of 13. That's not bad. A couple of you have not hit the like button. Please smash that like button, or just give it a few more minutes, and then if you decide you like it, go ahead and smash the like button. And I see we have a super chat. Thank you, Colin McCollum. Thank you very much. $5. I appreciate that. I haven't gotten a super chat in probably, I hate it's embarrassing to say, I think it's been almost a month since I've got one. I know Sparky got a $200 one recently. And so I really appreciate that. It makes me earn my keep, hopefully. And I have in the chat box, I have Daniel Berry Sports Highlights. He says, evening. Thank you, Daniel Berry Sports Highlights. Appreciate that. And then we have Gary Sinclair, who's a member of our YouTube channel. He's also the monitor. I can tell by the blue wrench, and I can tell he's a member by the moniker next to his name. So Sparky and I can see who are our supporting patrons. And if you'd like to be recognized as a supporting patron, join the YouTube channel. It's like $4.99 a month. That's less than 17 cents a day. I mean, you probably waste $5 a month. Probably every month there's something that you just wasted some money on, and this will not be a waste of your money. Anyway, so here we go. You're the first ones in, Brandon. Thanks. What you guys up to?
We were going to be working on a Buster racing plane, but it ended up that I'm trying to change out the push rod in there, and it had a really thin push rod, and I was able to get into it and pull that out. Well, I got a slightly thicker push rod to put in there, and to try to get it, needle it right in there just right, but it's slightly thicker. And then the way they have the bell crank installed in there, it's just too thick. There just wasn't much clearance between the arm of the bell crank and the wood right underneath of it. So you needed just the really thin stuff compared to, I mean, we barely have something thicker, but it's too much. And so if you look into the bell crank area, I was just showing Angstrom, if you look on top of it to like remove the bell crank, the screw to remove the bell crank is right under the spar.
Can
So
you
you have
show
to,
can you show Sparky and I what you're talking about? Because
yeah, we can
Sparky has
try
like
to,
60 years experience, and I'm sure he's
let's see if we
well
can,
of that.
I don't know. You want to put on my flashlight there just in case we have to. All right. We had been painting it up. Let's see if we can even. I'm trying. Let's see.
Almost.
Yeah, you're not going to be able to see much in there, I don't
Okay.
think.
Turn the wingtip down towards the floor.
Are you seeing?
Turn the
Probably not.
wingtip towards the floor.
We talking like how?
Yeah, like that.
Yeah, you can't see. Yeah, I mean, you just see the bell crank area there. And so it's right under the push rods, obvious, or the spars, obviously. And so there's just not a whole lot of clearance underneath the arm to it. And so I don't know. I can't really lift up the bell crank and get to it to unhook it and give more space in there without removing the spar. So yeah, I don't know. It's a buster.
Yeah. So the wire, you're talking about putting the wire into the bell crank where you don't have enough space. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I mean, let me try to show you what I got. So if you look at the diameter on the push rods here,
Yeah.
there we go. Here's the original one, the thinner one. Now I've got this thicker one. I'm trying to hold them right next to each other. You see,
Okay.
it's just a little
Yeah.
bit thicker, but
Right.
that thicker push rod actually, is held down by the arm on the bell crank right against the platform wood that's right there. So it just, this thinner wire was just right to move freely in there. This thicker stuff too thick.
Okay,
So
let me ask you, why are you changing the push rod?
the push rod original to it broke. That was part of
Okay.
the issue. The original setup, and I don't know how well you can see it here. They had taken this little wire and soldered it to something thicker. I think maybe you can see it there.
Okay, well, hey, here's the thing that they used to do in RC airplanes. Put the thinner push rod back in it where it belongs. You can wrap a spruce 1/4-inch square stick on it and epoxy it up on both ends. So you're putting a stick in there. Or you can take a piece of aluminum and make a plug and stick that in and wrap it up. Aluminum tubing, the K&S tubing.
Yeah,
I would just use the same push rod and then reinforce it with, a spruce spar or stick or something.
okay. Yeah, I had, the plan had been, I had gotten the one I was trying to use had the threaded end, and I like those threaded ends. It's obviously hard to see on here. I like the threaded ends because then I could put a clevis on there and
Right.
have some adjustment if my Z bend was just a little bit off, and that
Right.
was kind of what I've run into. So I didn't know, I'm right next to Brodax. I didn't know if Brodax had a thinner wire, but in the end, if they got a thinner gauge wire, the problem is probably the threads are still are thinner. So I don't know if they make a smaller clevis or what. So
And they make 256 clevis, 440, and 632 clevis. So you got 3 sizes to choose from.
Okay. So if I wanted to, though, I could move down a gauge of wire and probably find a threaded one at the Brodax shop and get, smaller threaded clevises if I wanted
Okay,
to.
the problem with those threaded rods is they're soft and they bend. So I would
Okay.
use music wire, 3/32 music wire, and put a Z bend in it, stick it back in the bell crank, and like I say, you just take a stick, like a square stick, and run the push rod right next to it, and wrap it real nice with some thread around the stick, and put epoxy on it. Do it on both ends. That way you can get them perfectly in adjustment. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
And just use a stick in there. They do that with RC airplanes, and it's just a buster. It's not like.
Yeah, it's a racing plane. We're all we're ever going to use it for is the Foxburg Racing at Brodax, which might be 4 people top. So this isn't this isn't the Nats or something. But yeah, that sounds like a pretty good solution to it, rather than going out and putting a bunch of money into a whole bunch of stuff.
That's what I would do.
And if you have to get rid of that keeper, don't worry about that keeper that holds the push rod. With that stick, it should be good enough.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah, but we thought this was kind of on the back burner, so we were starting to kind of work on our SV11 and some of the cutouts for that and get that going. Talked to Dennis earlier in the week, and actually we found out that the badass 3515 motor we were going to use, I thought it was too big for some of his conversion kits he's got at Brodax, but no, it ends up he's got a conversion kit there that we've actually put on our that chrome twister before, so it's going to fit nicely with that, and we can really get going with getting our SV11 going.
Oh, good. So you're converting an IC SV11 to electric?
No, we're building it. We've got the wings. We got the prefabbed wings, but part of the Nats builder and model rules is that you got to make at least either the wings or the fuselage.
Right,
so
right.
we're making a profile fuselage. Because we want it to be kind of able to enter a couple of different events, not only Pampa events, but also profile as well. So we're going to make a profile SV11, the fuselage.
And you also have to replace that control system. You have to install your own control system to BOM legal.
Okay.
So not just build a fuselage, you got to install the control system.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Well, thanks for pointing that out.
Yeah, no problem. So you guys been doing any flying? I know you guys been building. You guys are in Pennsylvania. Maybe you haven't been flying. I don't know what the weather's like.
No, it's been a little cold, but we're going to put up a couple of rugged stunt trainers. Hopefully this weekend we're going to get some 50s. We're going to put up a couple of rugged stunt trainers and try to use those. We talked about using them as racing planes. So we're going to dare to see if we can do that this weekend, and again try to get in practice on what passing looks like, and some of that the logistics of that. So how do you think that'll go?
It didn't go too well last time.
we got video footage of Angstrom getting wrapped. We didn't even get the second plane up a half lap before we had a oops, and then he was getting wrapped in line. So.
Oh yeah, that's happened to me before. Yeah. You can fly upside down, right, Angstrom?
Yeah.
Yeah, just put the plane inverted and you just unwind the wraps.
Yeah, I think he was flying a little racing plane, so I wonder if you probably feared getting it back over.
I know at one point we did a loop with that plane.
Yeah.
Probably could have.
That's good to think about, Charles. If it happens again here, especially with these rugged stunt trainers, we should be able to get them inverted and not doing a whole lot of wraps.
That would be good.
I have to admit, I didn't think to do that when I got wrapped up with my stooge line. I didn't think to go the other way. It was after I was all said and done, because I was just like, why can't I move my feet? I didn't know what was going on until I realized, oh, I'm wrapping myself up. So I just, I just dealt with it.
Charles, you're not alone on that. One of Angstrom's earliest flights, there was a guy named Chris Fretz does a lot of flying, but Dave Fretz is his father. And Dave Fretz met us at Brodax. They're in the Pittsburgh area, so they invited us up to fly. And so he wanted to go hand over hand with Angstrom on a really nice plane David made. Well, they used the stooge, and he didn't realize Angstrom's feet was getting caught up in the lines, and Angstrom had the safety thong on his hand. And so there was a mad dash by Dave to try to get Angstrom's feet unwound. And again, Angstrom's in his early stages, so he's not taking it back and forth and, able to just fly it out. And eventually he just got hog-tied and went down, and the plane crashed. So
I know. I understand that. I think Sparky came in second. I see everybody in the gallery. I'll get to you shortly. But real quick, Terry Forbes in the chat box, Terry and the Pirates from South Florida reporting in. Thank you, Terry, for coming in and watching. And Terry, come on in sometime. I'm sure you've been building. I haven't seen you in the show in a couple of years. I'm sure there's some new Voodoos or new vintage combat planes that you have built. So come on in and show us what you've been up to. And Sparky, I saw a little bit of your video when you was doing the lead outs.
Yeah.
On this plane.
Today was I wrapped the lines last night and glued the flaps on. We have a tentative flight date for Wednesday at noon. Supposed to be 58, so might get its maiden flight this week.
Oh, fantastic. Oh, that'd be great.
Took what did I figure it was 57 days on this one instead of 35 or 38. 57. Wow. But it's all rubbed, the whole thing. I even did the bottom.
Wow.
But nice. We'll let it dry for a couple of weeks, and then I'll sand it with 5,000 and buff it again, see what it looks like.
Awesome. That thing is beautiful. Actually, that's one of the prettiest planes I've ever seen you build, I think. But I haven't seen your other ones that were before I knew you. But that is a pretty plane. The ones you've done recently, that is just absolutely drop dead gorgeous.
The one I like is hanging up here, the orange one. But
yeah, that is pretty. Let me see here. Let me get to the gallery. I think it was Stuart Morris came in after that. Morrison, how you doing, Stuart?
Hi, Charles. Good. Not too much going on up here. We got some snow today.
Got some snow. Okay.
Yeah, it's that time of year.
Are you in your shop? I haven't seen you in your shop from this angle.
Yeah, I'm in the shop.
Is this the expanded part of the shop now, or this is still the older part of the shop?
Here. So I'm still got things torn apart and rearranging, so it'll be a little while yet.
Very cool.
Want to get her done so I can get some work done on planes.
Yes, I bet.
So other than that, also going well.
Good. Thanks for coming in. I appreciate it. And then let me go to John Miller, and then I'll do Mark Gerber. Hey, John Miller, you got in early tonight. Thanks for coming in.
Glad to be here.
Absolutely. Good to see you, man. Good to see you. You been doing any CAD work or been working on any models?
Yep.
Or
I've been working on the computer a lot. I managed to get the one flash drive that I thought was ruined. I managed to get it. I'm getting the data off it right now as we're speaking onto another flash drive just in case, because I don't want to lose that. There's about 8,000 drawings on there.
Yeah.
Parts of drawings or whatever.
Yes.
So, yeah, I don't want to lose it.
Yes.
So I've been doing that, but I've been finding things that I knew I had or thought I had or whatever, but I didn't know where they were. For instance, I bought when Don Hutchinson sold a flash drive with all of his drawings on it in PDF format. And I bought one of them from him, and I found out where I downloaded it to. So I've got it now downloaded, and I know where it's at now. And some guy came on a couple, 4, 5, 6, 7 years ago, and he had a file. He had every stud article in flying models. He had it in as a JPEG and all the files. There were hundreds of stunt planes, and so I found that. So that's kind of good. I've found a lot of things I stuffed away for, say, so I call them someday plans. Where someday I'll get to them.
I understand that.
So yeah, it's been good for me.
That's
Been
good.
busy with other things. Had to do the thing here over the weekend, and I'll be doing it again this next weekend, and then middle of the week next. So yeah, it's getting busy at that time of year for me.
Yep.
So anyway, that's what I've been doing.
Well, thank you, John, for coming in. I appreciate that. I believe it was Mark Gerber came in. How you doing, Mark? What's going on with you?
Oh, I fell down and I bruised my shoulders. That's why the hot pad here.
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that,
Uh-oh.
Mark.
That's what happens when you get old, Charles.
Yeah, I understand. I'm always afraid I'm going to trip in my garage because I hardly have to twist my body to get through my garage. It's ridiculous. So
Anyway, here's what it looks like around here this weekend.
Oh boy.
oh, okay.
No, not much flying going around here.
But don't you have
No,
skis?
Yeah, I get ready to go skiing over Christmas, so that'll be fun.
Ain't no way I'm going out and shit like that.
Tomorrow, I'm getting together with Jack Pitcher and Keith Throssell, Jerry Higgins, Chris Brainerd, and we're going to go have lunch, which hopefully will be an annual tradition.
oh, that'd be great. Yeah, well, tell Jerry I miss him on the Hangout, and tell Keith Tross I said hi.
Yeah, when I lived in New England, the Nest guys, the New England stunt team would get together about this time every year for dinner. Usually it was organized by Lynn Harding. And we get to a nice restaurant and have dinner. It was a lot of good companionship. So,
And you mentioned Lynn Harding. That is some great companionship or friendship. I mean, he's
yeah,
neat.
he was a great guy for social
Absolutely.
events like that, getting them organized and making them happen.
Yeah. I really enjoyed
Mark.
meeting him at Brodax. So Lynn Harding and I, we were just cracking up. We had a great time.
Hey, Mark. Jack
Yeah.
Pitcher moved down from the Northwest.
What's that, John?
Did Jack Pitcher move down from the Northwest to Colorado?
Oh, yeah, a long time ago.
I didn't know that.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, just curious. Say hi
bet
for
he's-
me.
I bet he's been here 15 years.
I'm behind the curve. Tell him hi for me.
I will.
Thanks.
Fantastic. Let me get some more off the chat box. Philip Bailey, thank you very much for the like. Appreciate that. You're here. That's awesome. And Tom Rammel gave us a like. Thank you very much, Tom. And Gary Sinclair, how's it going, Gary?
Oh, pretty good.
Good.
Hey Gary,
Busy. Yeah.
send me a picture of what you're gonna do with this airplane, would you?
Okay. Yeah, I just about got it. Just about got it.
Gary, what's
Yeah.
your I can't remember your email. It's sticker something, isn't it?
It's what?
Your email, is it sticker something?
No.
No. I can't find yours either.
No. Oh, mine's easy. It's
Go on Stunt Hangar, click on his name, look at his
It's,
profile right there.
Okay. Yeah.
That'd be the best way. That way you don't
Yeah.
get spammed out with all kind of emails.
Yeah.
well, there's a problem with that. It's Sparky's here. I'll just mention. The profile that's on there has my old email address on it. I tried to get in there and change it. I can't get it changed. So there's supposed to be a 2 between the end of my Joe Bellcrank and the @ symbol.
Okay,
And,
hold on.
without that, the mail doesn't get to me.
Hold on.
Okay.
All right. Well, while Sparky's fixing that, let me Let me get to Phil. Philip, what's going on, Philip? How you doing?
Doing great. Hope everybody else is. I can't stay on but a few minutes tonight. I gotta go to the hospital and we'll be at the hospital in the morning at 6 o'clock. So gotta go to bed early and get up early. Gotta get up at 4:30. So
Wow, well, man. Well, thanks for coming in. I really appreciate that, Philip. Wow.
yeah, thought I'd come in and say hello and see how everybody's doing. I was hoping to see Big John. I figured Santa was busy this time of year, but are you still playing your music too?
Yeah. Yeah.
Good deal. I'm glad to hear it.
We got a,
Hey,
we're doing a festival. So,
is that Joe Bellcrank too?
yeah, Joe Bell Crank 2 at, you got it.
That's J-O, not J-O-E, J-O. Right?
Oh yeah, it's kind of contracted, but yep, Jobel Crank.
2.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, you're set.
All right. Very good.
Uh-oh.
Thank you so much, Sparky.
Wait a minute, hold on. There's another, you got another profile with that in it. Oh, shit.
Yeah, that's why I couldn't change it. There's an old one in there. I don't know when it's from, but apparently it's me.
Okay, let me,
You'll see it.
hold on a second. We'll fix this. Paste. Search. You're John A. Miller. I'm going to delete that one.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Sparky,
What?
I got to tell you one I never thought I'd ever say. I believe I like the blue one better than the red one.
Okay.
But I'm a guy, if it ain't red, it ain't
It's
right.
a pretty airplane.
It is.
Yeah, I just like those scallops and how he has the
It's
two
gorgeous.
colors.
The more I look at it, the more I like it. And you just
Yeah.
keep seeing
Well, I
things
like-
in it you didn't see before.
I like the way he used. If you got, is that gold? What do they call it
Gold leaf.
on your lettering?
No.
Oh, it's
There's
white.
there's no gold leaf on that.
No.
No.
Oh, okay.
The red one is, isn't it?
Yes.
Well, it sure looks nice.
He does pretty work. I don't know. He's a wild man, but
I
he
did
sure
it
is a talented wild man.
less than 2 months.
Yeah, 57
Less
days.
than 2 months, start to finish.
57 days. On this.
That's outstanding.
Hmm.
Wow.
All righty. Let me
All right,
continue
John,
on.
you're fixed.
Takes me two months.
Hey, let me
Thanks so
welcome
much, Sparky.
let me welcome Steve Maganelli. Hey, Steve, how's it going?
I'm doing good, Charles. Thank you for inviting me. I got a couple things I want to talk about that are having very little to do with control line.
Let me see what you got going on here.
What I have here is one of the Blue Angels,
Right.
and there's 6 of these on a network of EMT conduit that do a formation roll, and they pull Santa Claus's sleigh.
Oh, very cool.
So
Yeah, I have
right
a friend
now-
who did one of those. He has
Really?
his Blue Angels in formation. They're all held in formation.
Yeah, they're all held to basically made out of a 1/2 inch EMT conduit, and the neighbors get mad if I don't put it up. Last year, I think the barbecue spit motor that turns it failed, and I couldn't find another one, so I just didn't put it up last year. And I got lots of people come by and go, "Hey, where's the Blue Angels?" So
Oh, that's a static display.
no, it spins. It slowly, all 6 of them roll in formation. It's powered by a barbecue spit motor.
Oh, I meant a friend of mine. He actually made an RC plane that had them in formation. He actually flew it.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I've seen that too a long time ago. No, these are made out of chloroplast. There, you can see how big they are compared to my body. And let's see.
That is really neat. When you
Right
get
now-
that thing working, take a take a movie of it and show it to us.
I will. And
That's sharp.
This is central rotating. What I'm doing now is I'm actually powering the thing. I have a rotating uh, this thing, which is a rotating bearing, so I can power it from the 12 volts AC and the whole, and I'm gonna put 6 LEDs on each one, and I also have uplights with the.
That is slick.
It's pretty
Really
cool.
slick.
Neighbors love it.
Oh, it sounds great. I have to come by your house and check it out.
Yeah, you should. I'll tell you when it's done. It's not right now. We got a ways to go yet. The barbecue motor is on Amazon. Lost the order, and then I gotta go find another one. And so that's the exception. And also, my control line this week is I managed to put together my crashed Zero, my with old fashioned silk span and dope from
Right.
Just reminiscing about my childhood of the 70s. And the paint came out pretty decent. It looks pretty good. And I got one of those climb and dive timers. So
very good.
Or if anybody knows how to
You'll like that.
You like those?
You'll like that. It's very neat to go out there and say, well, I needed a little more oomph at the top, and just pick out your telephone and play with it a second, and the next flight's perfect. It was blast.
I got it from the guy in Canada, and it came shipped in a couple of days. It was pretty, I put it together.
It's easy to put together. It's very easy to put together, and it works like a champ.
It does. Well, I'm looking forward to it. So last Friday or last Thursday, I got a little overfooded in Thanksgiving and wasn't able to fly Friday. So this Friday, come hell or high water, we're going to give it a go. So
we're going to be flying Friday. All right.
Yep.
I would say that, but it's supposed to be cold as all get out and very blustery here. So I don't know if we'll get to fly this week.
Probably Escondido. It's not too bad. It's probably it's probably in at least the high.
Oh, Escondido's gonna ruin me.
Yeah.
I went out there and we're having crap weather at home, and he's having this. Come on.
Yeah.
This is ridiculous.
Well, anyways, I think I tell you what, I'm looking at that blue airplane, and he said that's Sparky.
Yeah.
How did you do the open frame structure to make it be able to buff it and cut like that? Is it car paint or something, or is it something else?
Very gently.
It's dope. Silk span and dope. Yep.
Wow.
Very, very gently.
So it's not the water dope that I use. It's not that easy dope, is it?
No, it's butyrate dope that you used to use when you were a kid.
Oh my God. I tell you what, that easy dopes has no smell to it. I loved it. The basement down here, the laundry is down here. My wife was like, "What are you doing? I don't smell anything." I said, "Yeah, you're right. It's dope, but it's not the old fashioned stuff. It's has no smell at all. So, but it doesn't really wet out quite like, I don't think it would ever polish out like that. So,
well, if it's biodegradable, non-toxic, and has no fumes, it's no good.
Good thinking.
What I found.
So that's all I have. I said the Blue Angels I'll definitely post a video when I get them flying again, and it's a cool decor. The neighborhood loves it, and
yeah. I'm all Air Force, but I love the Blue Angels.
Yeah. Well,
is your Spitfire handy?
My what?
Your Spitfire, is that handy?
I mean
your Zero, excuse me.
Zero, yeah. Hang on.
Great. I remember seeing this plane go in the deck. Unfortunately. Hey, Mark, how you doing?
Hey, Charles. Thanks for those two text messages.
All right, here it is.
You're welcome, Mark. Oh, that looks great.
You can kind of see how bad the paint matches there. That was attempted gray. It's not too bad.
No.
And then here's the green, or really dark green, and that's worse.
Well, you know what? The plane is it's your first control line plane in a long time, so it doesn't have to be extraordinarily pretty.
It was really it was this is the easy dope, and it was I used what do you call it? Those Tamaya little tiny rattle cans. I just went to the hobby shop and I just took a sample of the old covering and tried to get the closest I could, and it's flying again. It's not pretty, but it's back together. I did an inverted figure 9. The wings broke in half, and I just put them back together, spliced the spars, and put new center section sheeting, and just glued it back together.
Is it electric?
It's electric, yeah.
And you can use house paint for that.
Exactly. Any kind of paint, yeah. Electric, yeah. Supposedly this Easy Dope is fuel proof after 3 or 4 coats, but I don't care. I'm not touching that crap again the rest of my life.
Very good, Steve. That looks great. I look forward to if you want to get together before Friday, we can do it before Friday as well. I know Tuesday is a busy day for you, but
yeah,
Wednesday or Thursday, if you want to meet me then, I'll be probably flying, providing it's not too windy.
Hey, if the whole crew's going to be there Friday, that'll work for me. I can wait that long.
All right, sounds good.
Yeah, here's the climb and dive timer right here.
All right,
you're gonna love that.
Yep. Super cool.
What did you have on it before?
I had an RC transmitter in a receiver. I control the throttle with my other hand with transmitter.
I like this a lot better.
I think so. Well, actually, my very first try, I made a control handle out of an RC surface thing, and it kind of worked, but I didn't really like. You could definitely modulate the throttle, but it took away my concentration. I didn't like the way it felt in my hand, so I'm back to my Easy Just, and I hope this is gonna be the ticket here.
Well, I hope it works for you. I think it will.
You're gonna love it. I think you're gonna love it having a timer as opposed to the system you had before.
Yeah, I think so. Because one time I went flying and forgot the transmitter. I couldn't fly. This time I can't mess that up. If I bring the batteries, I'm good to go.
Yeah. Very good. Hey, thanks for sharing the airplane with us. Appreciate it.
Okay, thanks, guys.
You're welcome.
And
That's good.
And Mark Wise, how you doing, Mark? Thanks for coming in. I really appreciate it. What you been up to?
Well, I'm pretty much up to date now on printing out. See if you can see it. This many pages.
Wow.
To figure out what I'm doing at the World Championships. But thank God I have Paul and Bill Lee, and so that's kind of cool.
That is.
But I heard this conversation between two people, and the guy says to his wife, he says, Alexis, every time Alexis do this, Alexis do that, for God's sakes, why is it always a woman? And his wife says, because if it was a man, he wouldn't listen.
Yeah.
So I'll just leave you with that.
Very good. I like that.
Guys who are married, I knew that was coming.
I like that.
I'm doing good. I'm getting some projects in the shop, so I'll have, I think, 4 airplanes to fly, and I want to have more fun this year.
Good.
Yeah. So it'll be nice. It'll be nice. So good to see all you guys, even those guys from Canada.
Yes. Yes.
Hey, Mark.
Hey, Len.
Did you get my email, Mark?
I'm sorry?
Did you get my email to you?
Yes, thank you.
Oh, okay.
My airplanes aren't ready yet. Will you have a calendar in 2027?
I don't know.
27.
Oh, that's funny.
It might be gone.
It gives me time to paint.
Oh, Lord. Sound like you're in the same boat I'm in.
Well, thank you.
That's
guys.
funny. That's
good seeing all you guys.
Yes, absolutely.
You too, Mark. It's always good to see you.
Hey, Lynn Burrell, what you been up to?
Well, not a heck of a lot. I'm a couple of guys have got out of the hobby up here, and so I've been sort of rounding up their stuff, and we're gonna have a swap meet on the weekend just among the local guys. So that's what's going on here.
Oh, okay.
I haven't been doing much building. I wasn't getting too motivated about building my new big airplane, so now I'm building a Gieske Nobler. So I'm having fun with that. I've got the wing all about half done on the table, and so I'm sort of all over the place, which is okay though.
Yeah.
So you building this from a kit, or you doing this scratch?
Scratch built. Yeah. It's funny. I have a Gieske Nobler plan from Tom Dixon, and I have part of the wing. Well, actually, I have the whole wing plan from a box Gieske Nobler from Top Flight. So I've got the wing plan, but I don't have the rest of the plan. So I'm sort of piecemealing this all together, and it's going to work out fine. It's just that it's a bit of a pain.
Well, if you need any help, you have my phone number, and you can call. Can you call to the United States, or do I need to call you?
Yeah. I finally got a phone that I can make phone calls to the United States with. I was having a nightmare doing that a few weeks ago, but Naomi and I changed our phone plan, got an updated version, something around 2023.
Very
So at
good.
least now we can make phone calls.
Reason why I'm saying this is because I actually have a Gieske Nobler kit.
Oh, do you? Okay, awesome.
Yeah, I haven't even built it yet. Still in the box. Should be
Good for
complete.
you.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
I bought it from Frank Bowman at VSC
Good
when I
stuff.
went to
I had
VSC.
one year. I had one years ago. I had one when it was out, like many years ago. And for some reason, I cut the plan up when I was building it. Never finished building it. And the
Uh-oh.
only thing I saved was the wing plan and the rib templates that I drew out at the time. I have nothing else of the plan, but I do have a Gieske Nobler plan from Tom Dixon with all the fuselage and tails and everything else.
Oh,
So I
okay.
do
You
have
probably
it.
only need to
Just
call
that
me
I'm,
then.
yeah, I'm not that I don't want to call you, but I think I'm okay. I've got enough.
Yeah.
I've got
Okay.
enough information and drawings here that I'm going to be able to pull this together. It's all good.
Very good. Very cool.
Hey, Lynn, your wife emailed her picture. Are you going to have one too, or just her?
I'm not photographic material.
Oh, sure you are.
Just put your plane in front of you and turn to the side so you look thinner.
Yeah, there you go. I'll see if I can do that. How soon do I need to have it in?
Well, we're back in December already, so I don't have too much time.
Okay, so within the next couple of days, I'll have you.
Oh, yeah, okay, then. Okay, because Naomi sent me hers. So
okay, I'll get mine sent in.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
You're gonna have your shark.
Much
You're gonna show
appreciated.
your shark. Is that what you're
Yeah, I'll use my shark for sure.
Very cool. Nice looking
picture.
plane.
Yeah, can you help me do a picture tomorrow? Yeah. Okay. Oh, for me? No, but for me, can you help me do mine tomorrow? Okay. Naomi says maybe.
Tell Naomi said hi. Hey, Naomi.
Hey, Naomi. Say hello.
Hey, Naomi. Hi. What
There
you been
you
up
are.
to? You been doing any flying or building? What you been doing?
Well, I've been trying to help Len get ready for this swap meet thing because it's our entire like rec room is now filled with all this airplane paraphernalia that we have to figure out. Like
How to
we
dispose of it.
can't possibly use all of it or store all of it, so we gotta figure out, we gotta go through it, figure out what we want to actually keep that we will use, and then just let everybody else go through it and see what they can use. I mean, it's mainly just like the one guy who was getting rid of his stuff, he didn't even want anything for it. He just wanted to know that it would be passed along to somebody who would use it.
Right. That's most of us in the hobby. We just want it to be used. We don't want to go and end up being a garage queen or in a trash can. We want someone to use it.
Yeah. Well, to me, it's like I'm looking through even some of my stuff, and I'm wondering, like, as I'm kind of shifting into different areas of like, and I'm just trying to think, like, if I'm not really going to use something like again, then why am I hanging on to it? Like somebody else, if somebody else could get some benefit out of it, I would rather see them use it and have fun with it than it just hang up in the garage and collect dust. Right. So
Right. Absolutely. Thank you, Naomi. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for saying hi to us. Appreciate it.
yeah, it's, you can see I'm already in my pajamas getting ready to go to bed.
Right.
So.
Well, thanks. Thanks for coming in. I appreciate it.
Yeah, it's a time difference. Say like it's up here, it's already like past 10:30. That's pretty late for me.
All righty. Well, appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
So I'll go to Paul Taylor. Hey, Paul, how you doing?
Hey guys, doing good.
What you been up to? I see the SV11 behind you, and did you make any of the trim off your circuit machine?
Yeah, actually, did that last night. I had to put my tagline on the bottom of it.
Yeah, baby. I
Yeah,
like
baby.
that.
Yeah.
Very
Then
cool.
I don't know, put little pinstripes on the wheel
Nice.
plates and put a stripe up here, and then it had a little scuff on the nose there, so I tried to kind of cover that up. And then
It looks very good. I like the dark blue canopy. That looks good on it.
yeah, the canopy was kind of yellowed on it, so I peeled it off and painted the inside a kind of a little metallic blue. So I like that thing that Sparky does. You know, the canopy's always got to be a different color that's not on the plane.
Right. Right. That looks really good, Paul.
But yeah, I was struggling. I went out with my flying buddy the other day, and he had I don't have any batteries for this thing, and he says, well, let's try a 5S, and we put a 5S battery in it, and the the thing ate it. So I got a post up on Stunt Hangar, and some people sent me some private messages, and here's what I'm doing. So long story short, I wound up ordering some 5S batteries, and then wound up sending those back, and then I ordered some 6S batteries, so they're on the way. So I know they're heavier, but
Well,
I don't want to look.
Mine flies on 4S.
Well, that's what I was told. The guy that had this plane, this thing was sitting in a barn for a while, but he was flying it on 4S, but they said the 4S batteries look like sausages.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. What size 4S? I mean, what's the milliamp hours on them?
3,500 milliamps, but I could use 4,000 actually with my system. I'd be better off with 4,000.
Yeah.
And they're available. I mean, they have 4S 4,000 milliamp batteries.
Yeah, I think I've got the 4S's for my Vector. I think they're 3,000 though. Yeah, 4,000 would probably do it.
That's how I would go if I was to do it again. I'd go with a 4,000 milliamp hour battery. Right now, I'm punishing my batteries. They're holding up though, but I'm going into them too far.
Yeah.
And if I had 4,000, then I'd probably be just right where it needs to be.
Are you running the Thunder Power batteries?
No, I'm using actually Hobby Star, I think.
Okay.
And,
yeah.
I think I buy mine from Innovate Design, I think. Or if it's not Innovate, no, it's RS, it's RC Juice.
RC Juice, yeah.
But RC Juice, and I buy their batteries, and they work good. I mean, for me, they do.
Yeah. Well, maybe I'll give them a shot.
And I put weight in my plane anyway, so I could have used a 4,000 milliamp hour battery because it's heavier. That would have actually been better than putting a dead weight in my plane.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, consider that. Hey, Steve McNally, go ahead.
You need to have the right KV motor for just arbitrarily changing the different size batteries.
There you go.
The prop, the KV, the motor, and the batteries all got to work together to keep the current way you want it to make it run as long as you want. So there's, it's not just, this guy likes 5S, this guy likes 4S. Well, maybe he has a 800 kV motor and you have a 900 kV motor. So
very good.
So like what I'm flying is 4S, and I'm using an 11 5.5, and it's a 915 kV motor. It's actually an in-runner, but that's what it is, and it honks. I'm governing it up around 9,700, which should be 5.5 second laps, and then it'll have a lot of headroom to go vertical. So,
and that's in an SV?
No, it's not. It's in that profile I just kind of brought out. That would probably work. I mean, it like I said, and I use either 3300s like this.
Make it big here, Steve.
I got some 3000s also. So
3000s
or 3300s.
Yeah, I'm running the 3000s in my Vector, but that's what somebody else told me too in a private message, that this has got an E-flite motor in it, and they said that the E-flights seem to consume more power than a Cobra or a Badass.
Well, depends on what the KV is. I don't know what that.
Yeah.
I think for 4S and a stunt setup, you need around 900 kV. Should be around 900, 920.
Yeah, mine's like 970, I think.
970.
I have a 3520 or a 3515. Don't remember for sure, but I believe my kV is either 970 or 950.
Okay.
Yeah, this is a 32 E flight and it's 770.
Well, that's low.
Yeah,
Okay, so
that's different.
low.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
So
a
that
different.
low, you definitely want at least 5S for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Well,
probably a proper one, probably, but maybe a 12-inch prop. Charles likes a 12.6. I'm flying 11.5.5, but yeah, you for a 770,
yeah.
you want more cells.
I mean, it flew well. I mean, it's got a 12.6 on it. I mean, it grooved nicely and turned but yeah, when it landed, that battery was like at 1%. So
okay, that's bad. Yeah.
Yeah. So need more juice.
You might have to dial the prop down too, because if you just put a bigger prop, you just add one more cell, the current's going to go even higher. You're going to burn them out faster. So you need probably a smaller prop.
I mean, that Dennis that I'm missing, I mean, he actually helped me with my SV11, and my SV11 works fantastic.
Well, I was just gonna. Well, first off, sorry I'm late, Charles.
That's all right.
Got sidetracked here.
Doc is
Paul,
paid,
I did want
Charles.
to ask that 1%, was that determined by a plug-in meter?
Yeah, I mean, it rebounded. I mean, when we took it out, because it really didn't sound like it shut off. It like it did its normal shut off. It sounded like it went to a low voltage shut off.
Yeah, I think the meters aren't worth. They're not worth the energy to throw them as far as determining battery usage. The only thing that matters, measure how much energy you put back in the battery. That's the only number that matters. That's the only number you can depend on.
Yeah. Well, I think I agree with you that you can take two different of those portable meters and they'll give you two different readings, but I think it gives you some kind of gauge to look at. And when I fly my other batteries in my other plane, I land and I'm at 24% on my vector.
Maybe over time, maybe you can develop some kind of a thing with it. But as far as the only number that it's really accurate, the only number you can believe in, the only number that can tell you whether you're damaging your batteries is how much energy do you put back into it when you're all done. So I was very surprised. Your setup sounded classic. The 770 motor on 5 cells and stuff, that's right in the sweet spot for both. E-flight motors are notorious for crappy bearings, and that all by itself could use up a lot of energy because your battery and everything like that. You should have been using about 2,000 milliamps. All right, and E-flights. I don't know. Remember one guy had 3 E-flight 32s. He got the third one. He needed the third one to get his first 5-minute flight. The first 2 lunch before they got that far.
Oh my God.
And they took and he sent them back to E-flight. They were very good about standing behind their product. And he sent them motors, but the new motors they sent them, they puked out again. So I would suggest if you check your motor over, make sure you don't have anything, the obvious things. Make sure you don't have something rubbing or something like that. I mean, it's a silly thing, but sometimes just under power and stuff, you might get the motor might be flexing a little bit, might be touching something inside the fuselage, might be might be rubbing, spinner rubbing against the front of the fuselage or something like that if you get a really good spinner fit. But a 2800 5-cell should have been very, very comfortable with that setup. You should have had a perfect setup with that. But to me, I'm not crazy about the E-flight motors, and I'm not completely convinced that you used up all of your as much battery as you say, only because I flat out meters I've seen like that have been worse than useless because they give you information that's wrong.
Well,
not having the information is one thing, but when you get the information, you can't use it. That's really harmful. So
well, they always rebound after they cooled off, right? So we checked it again after 10 minutes, and it was showing like 14%. But I think it went I think it went below where it should have gone.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, the
can I
other
suggest
thing I've
something?
found sometimes is you plug the meter in, you get the cell by cell voltage, and it'll look like you have a big imbalance, or you won't have much imbalance, and you could put it on a charger. It might show you that you have a very low percentage in one cell versus the other.
Yeah.
yeah, that's
Tell you
And
what, here's what I got. The 53%, you're right, is crap. But the number at the top, 3.823 volts per cell. This battery I flew this battery over the weekend in an RC airplane, and it flew great. And this is what I have left. So this is a safe, very safe discharge level for lithium batteries. If you're landing with 3.5 volts per cell or 3.3 volts per cell, you're got a recipe for disaster. So I think this RC flies, I think, at 4.5 minutes, and I think in the control line, the same battery at the front will fly around 5 minutes. But if you're running below 3.7 volts per cell, you're running on borrowed time.
well, 3.7 is nominal. That's supposed to be a no stress kind of point, but
correct.
It's less is more. Put it in perspective, Paul. I'm flying my SV11 at 70 ounces with a 12.6 prop and a Rodak 900 kV motor in it. I fly it on a 4-cell pack, and I charge it like a lithium ion, which means I'm charging the battery 1/10 of a volt per cell lower than what the lithium's capable of. The reason is to try to not to stress it at the top end of the charge. And I'm using 2,500 milliamps per flight out of a 3,500 pack. So as I say, when you just take that, multiply it, from 4 cells to 5 cell, that should drop down to about 2,000 per flight.
so you're running a
I'm running a
4S,
4S, yeah.
but 3,500 milliamp.
Yeah, 4S 3,500. It's a 10-ounce pack. So
Yeah. Well,
but it
this
will
was
absolutely will not work with your 32 because the motor has the wrong kV for a 4-cell pack. So
the E-Flight. It says it's for a 3 to 5 cell battery.
exactly. But on a 3-cell pack, it'll max out at probably 10,000 RPM. A 5-cell pack, it'll max out at probably about 16,000 RPM. The kV rating 770, what that means is that if you gave the motor 1 volt, it'll turn 770 RPM. All right, that's why lower kV, you go with higher cell counts. You need more voltage to bring the thing up. Now, the neat thing about that is if you use a higher voltage battery, you can actually reduce the amount of current drain going through it. Higher voltage at a lower current, which usually means less heat. And the enemy is heat, just like an IC. The enemy is still heat. A 4-cell pack, you could fly any airplane we fly. You could fly it on a 2, 3, 4, 5, 10-cell pack if you wanted, if you can get the right combination of kV and batteries and all that. But you're going to be playing games with heat and stuff like that, heat and weight and everything like that. So for the RC guys, use a lot of 3-cell packs because they tend to I don't know, I guess they've settled in on 3-cell, 6-cell, things like that. The control line guys, the nature of our flight, steady state RPM, not a lot of throttle motion or anything like that, or very little, even with an active timer. You're not talking any more than a couple hundred RPM one way or the other. They seem to work better with a little more voltage over the course of the 6-minute flight. So I don't know. Take a look. Just spin the motor over, see if you can feel or hear anything that might be a bearing issue. So
sounds pretty smooth.
Yeah. Okay.
And it's got a pretty good gap in between the nose ring and the spinner.
Yeah.
More than what I
There's
normally.
a fix for that. Take your skill saw, cut the nose off, rebuild it, put a super tagger in it.
Yep.
Then you won't know how well you had it how well you were off before you started. So
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah, that's what I told somebody the other day. You know, with IC, it was, you know, it's either fuel or fire, but you know, this electric stuff, man, I think it's like voodoo and black magic sometimes trying to get the right combination.
Nah.
Yeah. Same thing.
I don't know if you take a look at all the variations that can go in an internal combustion engine, air density, temperature, fuel mix, fuel consistency, even tank to tank, or what the things that happen to it. I'm amazed you can even get a flight out of an IC engine compared to electric. So.
Yeah.
I mean,
You know what? They're both
you literally
beautiful
put this thing
systems.
in.
Yeah,
You set it
they're
for
both
10,000 RPM. You could literally take it up into space, and it would run 10,000 RPM. It wouldn't care, So
Yeah, it doesn't go lean, or the fuel tank isn't too high, all that good stuff.
yeah, that's it. You don't raise the ESC or lower it to make it run the same upright and inverted. But
yeah.
But you don't get that good smell.
Yes, you're right. You
you mean
don't.
that smell that follows you home and makes your wife change your clothes in the garage and everything like that? Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your wife doesn't
Let me
do
bring
that.
Howard. Let me bring Howard Rush into the
No,
conversation. Hey, Howard, we can go in a
they
different
were
direction if
talking
you want.
about
You
the.
can talk about IC, but how you doing, Howard? I'm being sarcastic. I know he does electric.
Yeah.
So how you doing, Howard?
Okay. What all I would add is that I think the E-flite doesn't work very well, maybe front mounted, but does rear mounted. Is that consistent with other people's observations?
I don't know. I think what kind of brought it home for me was totally different thing. The electric pylon racing class. Here at a couple of nationals ago, and we had, Brodak had just brought a new wind on the one motor, and they actually set the record for the event, that day. And while they were doing that, the E-flite guys are there, and they had collected a dozen motors with lunched bearings and stuff like that. And it just seemed to be for a while. I thought it was just a bad batch for them or something like that, but they seemed to go for like a year and a half. Everybody was reporting trouble with the E-flite motors. So I've only run a couple of them and never stuck with them. But so I
didn't have any trouble.
Yeah. I didn't either.
Yeah, I think it was can't think of his name. Matt. It used to be Matt Newman. His first electric airplane. It took him took him to third motor before he got a 5-minute flight. So
wow.
So, and he actually, I sent him one of the Aerowind motors from Brodak, and he used that for 150 flights until he switched over to, I want to say a Cobra at that time. I think he switched to a Cobra later on. He gave me the other motor back, and it's sitting in it. It's still good. But I think what you're hitting on, front mount, rear mount, I think front mount, at least, it seems to be better, but seems to take some of the load off the bearings. But,
all right, Phil. Hey, Phil, I'll see you.
It seems to be better for a Cobra. That was now, mind you, I don't have enough data to support that, but that was my observation.
Yeah, the Cobras, of course, have a unique construction. They got that really special, big bearing, but then they didn't really continue it that way with the Badass line. So I always thought that was a bit of an oddity because,
Yeah, I was using up bearings in the Cobra on the same airplane.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
On a front mount?
Rear mounted Cobra.
Rear mounted Cobra. Okay. Okay, sure. The front bearing, the opposite end bearing is normal. They had the oversized bearing in the base end, but not there. So I suppose that would matter.
Is Matt still flying?
I'm sorry. What was that?
I said, is Matt Newman still flying?
Yeah, he's at the Nationals. He was at the Nats last year, wasn't he? I think he was. He was flying 2 years ago, I know. I think he was at the Nats last year.
He got set back by a house fire.
Yeah. He had some I think he had some job issues. Yeah, he had the house fire. He's had a lot on his plate, shall we say.
Wow.
I think his, reality kids growing up or something like that and whatever. But
Wow. So Howard, you've been
anyway.
working in your shop? You've been working on anything else?
I'm trying to get a printer to work now.
Well, good luck with that. Hopefully, is this a new printer or an old printer you had before?
That's an old printer that used to work. Now it doesn't.
Oh, okay.
It's a computer connection issue, I guess.
They updated the computer. They're helping you out.
What was that, Sparky?
They do those computer updates to help you out.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, sometimes they help you out of your pocket, out of your wallet. Having to buy a lot of new stuff.
Well, nobody's doing quality control. They just write a program, upload it, update everybody's computer, and then you figure out, oh, this is broken, and then you send them an email, and then they fix that. They don't test it. It's ridiculous.
It's job security.
That's right.
Job security.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, I've been on the inside of that sort of thing.
You are the test guinea pig. Ridiculous. And Microsoft's the worst about it.
Well, I got a like from from Edward Carlisle. Thank you, Edward. Appreciate that. So we have right now we have 24 viewers. We have 25 likes. I believe we probably had more viewers in the past, but thank you. And we have a $5 super chat from Colin McCollum. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. I think we've caught up everybody, but now we have Naomi back. Hey, Naomi, you kicked Lynn out or what?
Yeah, I kicked him off his own laptop. I forgot to tell you when you were asking me about building projects. I actually I haven't actually started building it yet, but Len came up with this idea and I jumped on it. So what I want to do is like I used to fly my Twister with a 40 size motor, like an LA 40. Right. And then I'm finding that now I've been moving to smaller size models with smaller, like 25 size motors, LA 25s. And I'm finding that that's working for me better because like the Twister flew really, really well and it floats really nicely. So it's nice to land it because it kind of just floats gently. It doesn't like drop out of the sky. But the problem with the 40 size motor for me with my skinny little arms is that by the end of my flight, my arm would be like really tired. So I found like it was really difficult for me to do like more than one or two flights before my arm would just be like I can't fly anymore today. So Len came up with this idea and he's like, well, what if we took like a Twister plan and just shrunk it by about 10%? That would make it small enough that you could put a 25 size motor on it. And I'm like, that sounds like an amazing idea. So I went and I had the full size plan and I took it to our local copy shop and got them to reduce it by 10% for me. But I haven't actually started like tracing out the pattern pieces yet or doing any of the actual work on building it, but that is going to be my next building project, and I think it'll fly hopefully as well as a full-size twister, but with just a little less arm fatigue.
Right.
I know for guys it's not as big of a deal because guys usually have stronger arms, but I don't have particularly strong arms as so I just find like for me it's a lot more fun if I can go out there and if I want to do like 5 or 6 flights in a day, even though each flight is only, you know, 6 or 7 minutes long, it's still like a lot better at the end of the day if I don't go home feeling like, oh wow, you know, like my shoulder feels like it's gonna fall off and my arm feels like it's, you know, I
Right.
can't even lift my coffee cup anymore.
Right. That's a very
So
good point, Naomi, because you have to
yeah,
find a plane that's comfortable for you or for anybody who's flying. The
yeah.
right size airplane feels fully comfortable. Like even for myself, I don't really like classic planes that much. They're small and I'm short. I'm 5'5", but I'm like 200 pounds. I'm really strong. And I to finesse a plane is really a pain in the butt for me. You know, where if I fly a bigger plane, I don't have to finesse it. It's really feels really comfortable. I can control it, and it's not pulling me all over the place. So finding the
Well,
right size plane for anybody's particular body I think it's a really good point. You'll enjoy it more if it's right.
I think you do have to find something that whatever works for you.
Right,
And
exactly.
I know I have flown some of Len's larger models with larger size motors, and I can fly them, but I would not want to attempt to do any actual maneuvers with them just because of the fact that I wouldn't be confident like doing something like a wing over where you've got gravity also pulling the plane down and the weight of the plane and just like yeah, I wouldn't be confident that I would be able to pull it out at the right time. Uh,
Right.
you know, it's a lot of combination of things and like even like trying to do loops or anything really, like for me it's all still unknown territory where I'm still trying to get confident. And so just not having to worry about my arm feeling fatigued gives me that little bit of extra confidence to say, yeah, like I'm willing to go up and have another go at it, right?
That's I'm glad you found your comfortable size as a 25 size ship
Yeah.
because that'll really add to your enjoyment. And if it gets windy, you can still fly. Where if you're flying a
Yeah.
full size twister, you're probably okay in fair weather. But as soon as the wind comes up and you get those gusts, then it
And that
becomes
is
like,
always and that is always another factor too, is because you know like there's always wind that you're gonna have to deal with. And even just things like I don't know, but for some reason it always seems like the sun is directly downwind. I don't know how that
I
happens,
know
but
it's
it
don't
just
understand that
seems
either.
to be the case. I don't
Yeah,
know. And
absolutely. I
so
totally
anyway,
get
I
that.
just thought I'd share that.
Thank you.
And I think also for like people like younger people coming into the hobby, like they when you're younger, you don't you have more energy, you have more faster reflexes, but you haven't necessarily built up your arm muscles yet. So
Right.
uh you know, it's usually with the younger people, they start off with the smaller planes as well.
Yeah, and they're less expensive too, so that'd be good too for that
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah, it's
I'd be
less material, less balsa, less, you know, covering, like it all adds up to like, and of course, no, you know, less chance of breaking the airplane, hopefully.
Yeah.
I'd be interested in
Charles,
seeing that
I
because
need to say
I'd
goodbye
want to
here
All
build
right,
soon.
one for my
Steve. Thanks for coming in, Steve.
Take care.
Thank you,
Thanks,
buddy.
guys.
Yeah.
I'd want to
Yeah,
build
well,
one
I
of those for my
will,
grandson.
Yeah, I will be taking pictures and probably putting together an article about it. I like to do that when I have a building project that I can sort of show where I started from and then what it ended up looking like as the finished product.
Very good. That gives you evidence too. You built the plane too, if anybody questions it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I do get a lot of help, but I like to try to do as much of it as myself as I can because I like to try to understand how everything sort of works together. It just helps me with understanding how it works.
Right. Well,
So
thank you, Naomi.
anyway,
I appreciate it. Hey, good night.
okay. Night.
And let me see here. John Miller had a question. John, thanks for hanging in. I
No,
appreciate
I
that.
didn't
And
have a question. I wanted to make a comment to her.
Oh, sorry.
That years ago when I was flying twisters, maybe she'll catch us on the rewind. I had a 40-ounce twister, a franchise twister. It was heavy comparatively, but flew well. But I flew it. I started off with a OS 40 on it, and it went like a rocket all the time. And so I went to a KMB 20 with the real quiet muffler, and I could fly it in the neighborhood where everybody else was getting chased out because it's so quiet. And I wound up flew a lot on that, but I wound up actually flying it in contest with a KMB 28 on. And so a twister at full size, the franchise twister, at least the one I had, could fly quite well on a KMB 28. Now, that's between a 25. I meant an OS 25 FP has got more power than a Fox 35.
Right.
Especially if you run it in the high RPM, low pitch mode. So, she could go either way, but she might wind up, by going down 10%, she might wind up wanting to power it with a 15 or somewhere an 18 or a 15 or a 20.
Now, my friend,
Anyway,
my friend Joe Mata, who you met,
landscaping.
my friend Joe
Still going to
Mata,
have a 43-inch span. It's still going to have a 43-inch span. That's pretty big for a 15.
Well, yeah, I would say you probably want to be at 20.
She's going to use it. Yeah, she's going to use an LA 25, so it should be pretty close. It's about the size of a ringmaster.
Well, there'd be plenty of power.
Yeah.
Yeah, there'd be plenty of power, but there'd actually be plenty of power with that 25 on a full size one.
Yeah, my friend has a twister, and he has a Brodak 25 on it, and that works good. I've flown it, and it flies nice.
That's awesome.
It's a really light. I mean, it's extremely light twister.
Light twister. Yeah.
I forgot how much it weighed, but extremely light. Not your average Joe. Not your dad's twister, in other words. And Al Fierro's in the house. Hey, Al. Thanks for coming in, man. How you been?
Good. It took me a little bit to get in. I had to download the latest app or whatever.
Okay.
Or Zoom, the client, whatever.
Right.
And I'm just using an antique laptop, so it's took a little bit.
Oh, well, good. I'm glad you made it in. Have you been doing any building or flying?
Did some flying. It's finally got my Tiger 46 sort of ironed out. Thrashing with props and stuff, and then last Sunday we had our swap meet, for the club, and that worked out pretty good. So, things have been going good, but not really building anything. I'm gonna take my rebuild my Perky again, take it all apart, and do that over. The fuselage is cracking, the engine mounts and stuff, vibration.
Oh boy.
And so the guys, so the Mark came to the swap meet, met him again. So we had a good time. We went out to lunch. The group of guys, I think it was like 14 guys, 16.
Yeah.
guys. So
Wow.
It was
yeah,
a fun
worked out.
night.
Yeah, 16 guys walking into a busy diner. It was like, you know, it was mayhem there. So we want a table for 16. We go, what?
It took a little while, but we got it.
Yeah.
That's great.
It was
And then
nice.
they wanted to chase us out because there was a line out the door, for the new customers coming. So, but it turned out to be a real nice day.
It was.
Yeah.
Very good. Very good. I have a text here in the chat box. Let me see here. Stephen Smith, and I believe this is probably the original Steve Smith in St. Louis. He says the Badass 3515 is a 710 kV is out of stock at Innovate Products website. Well, thanks for the heads up on that, Stephen. Then he goes on to say it's the engine that many electric flyers are using at the Nationals this year, according to the article in Stunt News. So the Badass 3517, the 710 kV is the motor that was, I guess, what was that, Howard?
Oh, 3515, isn't it?
Yeah, 3515, 710 kV. What motor are you running in your dogs, Howard?
Well, Plettenberg. They haven't worn out yet.
All right, cool.
Hey, Len, if I could jump in. You wanted to know, you asked me what prop was working for me on the Tiger 46. And it's Master Air Screw Scimitar 12.6. Seems to work pretty good.
I run a 12.6 EW rev up on my 46.
Yeah, but you can't get those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sparky, that airplane looks amazing.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Looks outstanding.
Make it big for you, Lynn. I don't know if have you seen it recently, or is your first time
No,
seeing
I
it?
haven't been. I've been busy. I haven't seen it for a couple of weeks. That looks amazing, outstanding. I love the colors.
Yeah,
that's
they
awesome.
are. I love what he did with the scallops. That's that two-tone,
man,
and then the magenta stripe through the center of it. That's
it is just killer. Really, really nicely done.
Yeah. I see, sparing no expense. You got that expensive compound there, 3M.
I got the other stuff too. Yeah, both of them. This is the compound.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're going to use the stuff, use the right stuff.
Barky, if you make that any shinier, you're going to need eye surgery.
Well, it will get shinier, and in 2 weeks I'll sand it all again with 5,000.
Oh my God!
I got to compete with spray shine. But the nicest thing about this airplane is it's 52 ounces.
Oh, wow!
That's terrific.
That's amazing.
That's
almost illegal.
Howard said it's 780 some square inches. I think it's only 740, but at 52 ounces, it should be fine.
Oh, man.
Very, very nice.
The other one is heavier, believe it or not. The second one is lighter than the first one. That one's 53.
That's amazing.
That's amazing.
I was reading Billy's article on his, where did it go? On his Juno, there it is. And he's talking about adding all kinds of paint. I don't understand how he can get them so damn light with as much paint as he's talking about. And he uses medium silk span, according to this article. But I think there's some tricks going on. I mean, he does beautiful work, that's for sure. But, 3 coats of clear dope, 50-50, then put the covering on, and then 2 coats of Sig Super Coat, and then 4 coats of light coat, and spray on 1 coat of talc and clear mixture, and then sand with 360. Repeat the process, blah, blah, blah. And then very little color, he says. Wet and dry, and then I don't know how much clear he's putting on, but 7 I said, he's saying a 7-ounce finish. Well, with all that dope going on, I can't see it. A lot of dope. He doesn't use the diet method. For that. Yeah. But he does finish really nice.
Sparky, how much does the clear add in weight?
I use 1 quart of dope, period.
Yeah, but do you know how much it?
Yeah,
much?
yeah, 1 quart of one quart of clear dope plus your half pint of color is 6.5 ounces of finish. And then I added 1 more quart on top of this because I needed to balance. It came out at 50 ounces, but it wouldn't have flown very good at that weight because it was so nose heavy. I needed to move the CG back. So I mixed up another quart of paint and sprayed it on, and that added 2 ounces.
So a quart of dope adds 2 ounces.
Of clear, correct.
Clear, yeah. Because you know, I used I forget the name of the plane. Oh boy, I did something for a guy and sprayed it, weighed it before and after, and it was 2 coats. A clear was under 2 ounces.
Yeah, 2 coats of what kind of clear?
The Acme, the car clear.
Uh-huh.
It's under 2 ounces. It was here, let me I'll be right back. I got to look at my other phone to see the name of the plane. Hold on.
All right, thank you.
Hey, Charles, I'm going to back out.
All right, thank you for coming
Wish
in,
y'all
John.
a
Appreciate
good
it.
night.
John.
Good night, John.
My
Night,
pleasure.
John.
Thanks, Sparky, for straightening that out for me. And we'll see you guys next week
All righty.
or the end of the week.
Yeah, see you Friday.
I've written
Right.
the weights down on the finish of this. From bare wood, it was 24.3 ounces. So put the silk span, the clear dope, and the silk span and the fillets on it, and painted its light blue with the clear on top of it. This is the 1 quart. It ended up 30.3, so that's a 6-ounce finish. But then I sprayed on another quart, and it was 32 ounces. So I've got 2 quarts of clear dope on this total.
So the plane I cleared was a Star Duster,
Yeah.
and it was I don't know if you could. I don't think you can see that.
No,
I don't think so.
Oh,
Oh, there we go. I can see it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nelly.
Oh well.
What was his name? Lynn.
I think it's Ed I don't know how to say his last
yeah,
name, but it's I know
right.
it's Ed Capintinelli, I think it is, or something like that.
Right. Capinelli, I think.
Capinelli, yes, that's it. That's who it was.
Yeah.
Ed
That
Capinelli.
Starduster, classic looking plane.
Beautiful plane.
You need to repair that. What do you have to do to repair it?
Be very careful.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
What do you mean to? Yeah, that's a disadvantage. What do you mean touching up?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah,
problem.
you can't really.
If you're using, you know, if you're using dope as a color.
Yeah, well, that's all car paint, right? Base coat?
Oh, that was dope. I cleared over dope. He painted it. He just wanted me to clear it for him.
Okay, you're the painter. Now you'll understand what I'm saying.
Yes, yeah.
One's a mechanical bond, the other's a chemical bond. So how do you get the mechanical bond to stick to the chemical bond paint?
It sticks. You scuff it, wipe it down, spray it on. It sticks.
Wipe it with, scuff it with 600 Scotch-Brite.
Yeah, Scotch-Brite, a gray Scotch-Brite pad.
Yeah, that's 600.
And then Scotch-Brite in one direction. Don't go all over, because if you do it all, you know, all different directions, you could see it.
Uh,
You know, you'll see, especially, well, like on cars, like if we're doing like a silver metallic if you scuff it down on the panel where you're blending, if you go crazy, like, you know, doing like opposite directions and you spray it on in the sunlight, you could see the scratches coming through.
right.
So we always sort of Scotch Brite in one direction, you know, so.
Well, I don't know about you, but I want you to experiment with this. You know how you clean your gun with lacquer thinner, right?
Yep.
Okay, and it doesn't curdle, so it's not attacking that paint. So I was spraying some Acme clear, 4:1 clear, and instead of reducer, I was using dope thinner. So
Yeah.
I know I knew that'd make you cringe, but
Yeah.
gives it a little bite.
I don't know if it'll bite or not, but I don't know. I sprayed car paint on it on a lot of stuff, and you know it sticks. If it's clean and you wipe it down, it'll stick.
Yeah.
The problem is to repair, like you're saying. If you spray, if you break the edge of the clear and then you spray lacquer or dope on it, it could lift it.
Yeah, obviously. Yeah, I know.
But if you stayed within the product line, like I use Sherwin-Williams paint, so I stay within a product line and I can repair with that.
So you're using Sherwin-Williams. I'm using ATX wax and grease remover. Is that good stuff?
Which one?
ATX, Sherwin-Williams.
I don't know which offhand.
This stuff, right? Comes from Sherwin-Williams. Sure is pricey stuff, though. Costs more than dope thinner.
ATX. Yeah, I'm not familiar with that. ATX.
That's, this magenta that's on this airplane.
Uh-huh.
I had a one shot, which is enamel signed. I was going to stripe it by hand. Well, you can't spray dope over enamel, even with a hardener in it. It won't.
Right.
It'll lift right off.
Yeah, unless it's 10 years old.
I went to Sherwin-Williams and we sat, with the color chip, and I go, well, that's close. And so this gal there mixed me up this. We took $35 in the bottom of a quart can. I got about an inch worth of pigment, and I just put the A1690 clear dope in that and mixed it up, and this is what I got. So
the paint's super expensive. The gallon of prime that I use on cars is $600.
Ridiculous.
A gallon of prime is $600.
Damn. Wow.
Yep.
What's the reason behind that? Just inflation?
I don't know. It's just what it is. It's good stuff. So, we use it, but yeah. And you don't use much of it, but it's $600 a gallon.
So how much does it cost, or how much does it take to clear prime a car? Half a gallon?
We don't. I don't prime the whole car with that stuff. That's like spot repair prime.
Oh, okay.
Like when we're doing panels or a door or something like that.
So you put a sealer over the whole car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's. But yeah, no. I have probably like you see the rouge that for girls use. It's
right.
a little cup with a cap. That with like the pearl in it that like I have to use on just a standard Honda color is $130 just for that little bit of pearl, and I have to use half of it to in like a pint of paint.
Are you putting that in intercoat clear, or are you putting it in a red?
It's part of the formula for the color of the car. The car was sort of like a brownish red color.
The red that they use to mix this, the tinting red, because I got the price breakdown somewhere, was $600 a gallon.
Yeah, it's probably more than, it could be, it's just stuff that's a lot more than that. It's crazy.
Ridiculous. But I got an
You guys,
itch.
let me catch up on the chat box. Old control line pilot, who's also a member of our YouTube channel. Thank you for your support. That's Bob Whitley up in Canada. He says, like given and got some doping done. See you Friday. All right, look forward to seeing you Friday. That'll be great. I just got a text from a friend of mine, Chris McMillan. He's going to try to come in here, I hope, and that'd be great. Anyways, I've been making progress on my reverse engineering of my SV11, and finally got all the parts identified, and I just need to make some cut files so I know which ones are on 1/8 inch, which ones are 3/32, which ones are 16th, and so hopefully probably next week or so, I hopefully will have basically my kit made for my fuselage for my SV11.
Did you re-kit one?
Well, I took an existing SV11 fuselage and looked it over, and I have some drawings, and so I'm going to basically make a kit. So I'm just kind of reverse engineering. I actually have the fuselage here behind the curtain, and hang on. Chris says he can't get past the address invalid thing. Hang on a second. Let me send Chris. Okay.
Is he a member of Stunt Hangar? All he's got to do is click on the thing. If not, he can call me, give him my phone number, and I'll straighten it out.
Let me see here. I'll just send him an email. Have him check his email. Hang on, let me type here this real quick.
I haven't flown with him in 30 years.
Oh, he's a great guy.
He used to live here in St. Louis.
He's kicking the pants. Okay, so hopefully he'll check his email. I already sent him a link in his email, so hopefully he'll do that way. Anyway, so I'm looking forward to getting this SV11 fuselage built, and I'm going to change the control system in the ARF wings that I have, and hopefully build one and get BOM points. So I'm pretty excited about that.
What, you get up on pattern masters? You're done with lumber wagons?
I'm not done yet, but just taking a break from them. Unfortunately, I have a couple of Strega ARC kits, and so I'm going to revisit that. And one of them is going to be my precious balsa, and I like what I have right now, and I kind of want to stay in the same size. And like I was talking with Naomi earlier about finding a comfortable size ship, and the SV11 is a real nice size for me. So, and then after that, I'm probably going to build a Hawker Hunter so I can fly something in classic, so I can at least get 4 official flights when I go to a contest. So I have the SV11 for Pampa and Nostalgia 30, and then the Hawker Hunter for classic.
Well, I think I'm supposed to send you something and I forgot. Speaking of the Hawkers, so I'm sorry. I'll send it to you.
You know what? I forgot what you're supposed to send me.
When I send it, you'll find out.
All right, cool. Well, I look forward to it. That'll be a pleasant surprise. Thank you, Howard. I'm glad I tripped your memory.
Nothing like setting expectations, is there?
So I have a question for the stunt experts. So I see a lot of guys use 60 size stunt ships. So is that a big advantage over flying, say, a 40 size stunt ship?
Well, the judges could see them. You know, they're getting so old, they need glasses. They can't see them little airplanes. So you got to get a big airplane.
Some people skip the middleman. They take a 40 size airplane and put a 60 in it.
There you go.
Yeah.
Or a 75, as the case may be. So.
Okay.
PJ Rowland at 1 year at the Nationals had a Giske Nobler with a 60 Rojet 67 in it.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, that was a pretty neat article. I remember reading that article, and let me see here. What is it? Which phone do I choose?
How do you get it to turn? That's a lot of nose weight.
Gotta have wrap some solder around the tail wheel, I suppose.
Which phone do I choose?
That had to be a 55-ounce Nobler.
Was over 60.
Yeah.
Well, that's not as bad as Steve Smith here. He's got a Vector that's 60 plus.
Really?
Yeah. He's got a great big brick for a battery. And I had to put it, I would say at least 2.5, 3 ounces in the tail to get it to turn.
Wow.
Put clay, Gumby, a big wad of clay on the back. But it's trimmed out. I mean, he flies it pretty well, but it's heavy.
You guys continue on. I'm talking to Chris McMillan, trying to help him get in.
I don't know. I get a kick out of this. I remember reading a car review in a Car and Driver magazine, and they were talking about, some car that they didn't really like, but the manufacturer brought out a version with a great big motor in it. And they reviewed the car, and they said, it's like the old saying, you can put a candle in a cow pie, but that don't make it a birthday cake. Whenever I hear about somebody putting a 60 in a Nobler and stuff, it just kind of resonates, It's just, oh, come on, people. So.
Yeah.
And Al, I don't know if you walked about the time you came in, they were talking about using 25s in places of 35s and 40s. And you put you took your Nobler ARP and you're flying that with an LA 25, aren't you?
Yeah. No, I flew it at Brodak.
Yeah.
Yeah. And did pretty good. Ended up, I think, fourth.
Got your flights. I mean, what the heck? What's it about? So,
I mean, if I could work on my pattern a little bit better, I'm still way too high. My bottoms are way too high still, and I'm getting dinged pretty hard for that.
Yeah.
So
you will.
So
they're asking about 40 airplanes and 60 airplanes. I don't know. I can take my big airplane out and I can fly it for 4 times. And by flight 3, my elbow is just screaming at me. It's had enough. I can take my 40 airplane and fly it all day long and not have any issues. So I know what the new airplane's going to be.
I mean, I have one 60 size ship, but it weighs 85 ounces.
Oh boy.
And it's got a OSV was a 46 VF in it. And if that thing starts going faster than 5.1, it's like holding onto a pile of bricks. It's like when it comes, so if
yeah,
I can fly it, but then when it comes, like I said, the last like 5 laps, when it leans out, it's like you got to hold on with 2 hands. It's really bad. It's if you fly that 4.9, it's brutal. It's
yeah,
because I was trying to get it to work it out. Still never can get it through the pattern comfortably. It's just way too heavy.
Yeah.
Still having a problem, Charles?
Yeah, well, I haven't heard back from him. He asked me which phone number should he pick. And I first was thinking, what is he talking about? Then I realized, oh, that's right. The link does list different phone numbers.
No, just tell him to click the link.
The link itself should bring him right in the door, right?
So I texted him, said, there's a link in the email. So
just send him the link. Don't
I already did.
Just the link.
Okay, I'll do that. I'll do just the link only.
Yeah, that way you can't make a mistake. Click here.
Right. I'll do that. All right. Well, you're doing such a good job, Dennis. Carry on. I'm going to converse with Chris. And by the way, Stephen
here
Smith.
I thought I had nothing to say tonight. Okay.
And by the way, Stephen Smith said he put in 2 ounces in the tail.
Okay. Let me turn that around on you, Al. When you watch, I know, Stunt's not your main event or anything like that, but when you're watching what kind of airplanes do you like watching? You'd rather see the really big airplanes or something a little smaller? I mean, anything tickle your fancy there?
I mean, I enjoy the 40 size planes and stuff. I see them. They, I like them to go. The Cavaliers, the Noblers, and stuff like that.
A lot more fun to fly.
A lot more fun to fly.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Well, they don't beat the living snot out of you. That's, of course, if you can build your big airplane, your 700 square inch airplane or 700 plus at 52 ounces, it probably doesn't beat you up too bad either. So
no, it's like flying a little airplane.
Yeah. So
yeah,
personally, I've always been fond of smaller airplanes, and so I cheat a little bit. I make the wings really long and the fuselage is really long, and they look like they're much bigger airplanes than they really are. So,
hey, what's the root cord on that pink airplane? 9 inches?
Average of 9. Well, it's 11 inches at the root, 7 at the tip. Average cord is 9. It's a 63-inch wingspan and 567 squares, I think it was.
Wow.
But the wingtip, it was bigger than anything out there. And nose to tail, it was actually about the same size as a Strega.
Wow.
What's the
So it
length?
had a nice big visible footprint on it. And it weighed 44 ounces.
What's the length of it?
It was 48 inches nose to tail, or the nose ring to tail. It had a little spinner on it, spinner nut on it.
It weighed 44 ounces?
Yeah.
With a 10-ounce battery?
Well, that one only needed a 8-ounce battery.
Oh.
I don't think that there's really any difference in motor weight, power system weight for an electric airplane versus a gas airplane. I mean, when you factor in fuel loads and stuff, the weight distribution is different. An electric motor tends to be lighter, I think, than the glow motor does, but it's all located. And then the battery, the fuel tank, if you will, is heavier, but it's pushed back a little bit. So I don't know. There's always that ongoing thing, or electric airplanes inherently nose heavy or tail heavy. I think I've had more that turned out tail heavy than nose heavy. So, and well, tail heavy is okay, because if it's tail heavy, I just start using bigger motors until I get the airplane to bounce. I can put whatever size motor I want and turn the same prop at the same RPM, just use less battery doing it. So.
So if you need nose weight, you just move the battery forward?
You can do that a little bit, but you don't get the overwhelming effect on CG that you might think you get. You get like the equivalent of, maybe an ounce of nose weight or something like that, even moving the battery a fair amount. And I keep making the battery box as long as I can. So I'll have the airplane, a big white airplane I fly, I think I can move the battery a total of about 2 inches fore and aft to where I have it. I have it basically in the center of the battery box, but I could move it all the way back, pushes it about 2 inches back, all the way forward is about 2 inches forward. So,
my fuel tank, the back of it is right here, way back inside the fuselage. And so it's that.
Yeah,
long.
I have the back of my battery box is usually about an inch behind the leading edge of the wing.
Yeah.
Maybe a little more, but it usually, most cases, ends up being about 1 inch back at the leading edge. So,
when I was first working with my LA-25, I put a 4-ounce tank in it, thinking might have to go to the Brodak 40. So then, I was filling up with 4 ounces or 4.5 ounces of fuel, and then I found that with the LA-25 was working, so I ended up putting only 3.5 ounces in it. And what a difference in the corners, just that, not using that different, without that ounce of fuel. So I ended up, making a smaller tank for the plane. But I could feel the difference of that extra ounce of fuel in the Nobler. Made a big difference.
Yeah. Well, it's probably a pretty light airplane all in all too, so that ounce goes a long way.
Oh, it only weighs 41 ounces
Yeah. So, that,
without fuel.
yeah, means a lot more than it does on a 50 or 60 or 70 ounce airplane, certainly. So,
Yeah.
I've got a friend of mine who's working on, he's got an airplane, one of Wes's old airplanes, and using it to test an engine, he put a PA-51 in it, and he wanted to break it in for a new airplane he's building. Engine runs wonderfully, but at, stock, he was using 7 ounces of fuel on it. To put that in perspective, his PA-65 was using 5.5 ounces. The 51 was using 7 ounces. It's, it's crazy.
Yeah, my VF used 6 ounces.
Mm-hmm. Well, he's tried now. He just choked down the Venturi on it, and he got the thing. He's got it down to running nominally about 5.5. He still has to tweak it a little, but he's around 5.5 ounces or so, turning the same prop at the same RPM.
Wild.
But the engine is just running a lot steadier too. He has to send it off a little higher RPM off the ground. But to an extent, with the big Venturi, when he first had it, and I flew it once even, at the end of the tank when it's leaning out, that sucker really, really came on hard. All right. The last couple of laps, it was really pumping. And I guess I haven't seen it, but he says with the small Venturis, it speeds up, but it never goes berserk on it. It doesn't act like it's going to run away and kill somebody. So. So he's really happy with it. I mean, he was happy with it even with the big Venturi, but it was just 7 ounces in a 51 sounded like a lot of fuel.
That's a lot of weight. Yep.
Well, that's it. That's a lot of everything.
Off the Venturi.
Hmm?
Randy sells different size Venturis. Need to choke off the Venturi.
Well, that's what he ended up doing. So.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I don't know the whole history on it or anything. I'm betting he doesn't even make 51s anymore. Probably hasn't for a long time.
You're not going to be able to get anything small block ever again.
No.
Which is a bummer.
Sparky, what's the deal with the plans on that airplane? You got them done?
Steve is still working on them. I mean, I have a set, but they're not right, so they're back to them.
Let me know when you get them done because I'd like a copy of them.
All right. Well, they'll be available online.
I don't mind paying whatever, it's whatever.
What, you want to pay? You're even willing to pay for them, Lynn? What a guy.
Most definitely. Pay for everything. I'm paying my whole life. I don't expect anything for free.
That's it. No free lunch, right?
No free lunch in this world.
Charles was talking about getting 4 flights. That's one of the reasons why I brought this airplane back, because I can fly it in N30 and Pampa.
That's right. And you know what? Everybody's doing the same thing. Nobody wants to go to a one event contest and stand around doing nothing all weekend. It's no fun. You think it costs too much to go to these things. It's exactly it.
Well, I can bring 2 airplanes for 6 flights. So, or actually,
right on.
4, 5, 6, so 8 flights. 2 airplanes for 8 flights at the NAS.
Makes it all worthwhile when you spend the money on
what you need to do is Photoshop a old picture of Photoshop it into a profile, then build a profile version. Tell everybody it's N30, and yeah, you can fly it in Pampa too. All right.
I did have a profile back in the 90s of this.
Yeah, there you go.
Now, seriously, that's one of the things I really like about the MoBest is it is a 3 event airplane. So, and I drive a subcompact car. So
I got my butt kicked by it, so it works pretty good.
Hey, listen, if any of you guys are getting bored at contests, I can find some opportunities for you. Like judging or being a runner or being a tabulator or.
Nah, there's this guy out east who takes care of all of us. He runs all the events, the Nationals, Brodex, takes care of all that stuff. So I could sit back drinking Gatorade with Lenny, all right, and Al, all right. The contest, it's under control.
You're in
But Al,
trouble.
ain't that nice going to a meet like that? You just sit around, drink Gatorade, and watch the guys work.
Don't pull me into your scheme. I don't want to get in trouble too.
I'm working on my exit interview, Len. So
Hey, Mark, be careful what you wish for.
Hey Al, do you know a
God.
guy named Stunt Flyer? He says, "Who's this Al Fierro? He has dark hair."
Oh,
I figured it was a friend of yours busting your chops.
I don't know.
Huh.
Sounds like a friend.
Tell him it was just painted.
Yeah. This
well,
came out.
we were having a painting
got
discussion
some
a bit
gray in
ago,
there.
weren't we?
Handsome man.
Got some gray in there.
He's sharing the wealth. He says Charles's mustache is even more impressive on the screen.
Okay.
Thank you
Hey,
very much.
Your mustache is darker.
This guy is getting too close to the screen.
Tell him he's supposed to talk about airplanes.
Yes,
that's
right. Well, you just did.
All right.
Oh, it's Chris. It's Chris. It's Chris McMillan. Do you know Chris McMillan, Al?
No.
Oh, okay. He's like I said, he's a kick in the pants. Hey, thanks, Chris.
Does he fly combat or race?
No.
I know mostly as a stunt flyer, but I know he's been around this hobby for a long time. So I wouldn't want to underestimate what he has done or what he does.
I know most combat flyers. I've been in. I know him. I've been in with a midair with them. Most guys.
That's how you meet people, right? So.
Yeah,
have a midair.
Yeah, have a midair, and you remember them for the rest of your life.
Yeah. Chris says I have airplanes. I imagine he has everything.
Little ones, big ones.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think his dad flew too. So he's one of those guys, lucky gentlemen who had a
what
dad.
State
Say it again?
What state?
It's everywhere.
Right now he's in Arizona,
now, isn't he?
But he's been a lot of places. He flies professionally for forgot what airlines.
Oh.
So he
lived in St. Louis for a while.
No, the furthest west I've been was Indiana. That's it.
Yeah, he says here, my dad wouldn't let me near the combat circles. So I guess he didn't do combat.
Oh, he was.
You got Windfall's book. He's in there, and you can see him as a little kid. He was also Rookie of the Year one year. I don't know what year it was.
Very,
Who's
very
his
cool.
dad?
Yeah, I'd met Chris online, and then I finally met him in person at VSE a couple of meets ago. So,
what was Chris's dad's name? Do you guys know? I think Lynn had a question. Who was Chris's dad?
Chris's dad?
Yeah,
Jerry McMillan.
Okay.
Chicago area, flew with Jerry Worth, and he used to fly with Bob Gildini and folks like that. They were all at our mid 60s, early to mid 60s, and then moved out west. But I guess his dad had a I want to say, I think he said he had a Beech Stagger Wing. So that's flying with attitude, baby. That's quality time. So
yeah, he says he lived in St. Louis for 8 years.
No, I don't venture too far away from home. Furthest south was Key West. Furthest north was Massachusetts, and furthest west is went to the track at Indianapolis.
Chris says that Ron Adams was one of the Chicago guys.
Ron, of course.
Figure out how to get in, Charles?
No, his every way he tried, it kept saying invalid. He's using an iPad.
Oh. Tell him to download Zoom.
Yeah, he mentioned doing that. there's got to be another workaround. We're going to try. I'll call him after we end the call. He said I can call him, and so we'll try hook up we'll do a private Zoom meeting, see if I can get him in here. So
Yeah, you should have the app for Zoom, and it should be able to get in with that.
Right. It'll open right up.
Yeah.
You hear that, Chris? So you need to get the app. We need to go to his Apple Store and get the app,
Right.
the Zoom app.
Yes.
He says I was trying ... So, well, we'll get him in here next time. I'm going to end the live stream. Thank you, everybody, for coming in. I appreciate. I mean, it wouldn't be no show without you guys coming in. So thank you so much for doing that. And hopefully, you have a chance to work on your shop or go flying. I hope to do some flying. So hopefully, I'll have some flying to report Friday. So come back Friday with some things you want to share or have questions, and we will get together again Friday. So fair winds and tight lines. See ya.
You guys.